Hey, what's up? So this is Batman number 50, the big wedding issue. Except, spoiler alert, the wedding doesn't happen. So this came out a week ago, and there was a big outcry, I would call it, over a New York Times article that claimed to have interviewed the writer who said that uh, Batman and Catwoman didn't end up getting married, that the wedding was just a sham, basically. And turns out uh, he didn't lie. He actually spoiled the book. Um, so much for the whole. Um, you are formally invited to the wedding of Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne, July 4th, 2018. Invitation to follow, and this whole big deal to sell this book. That's what all this was for. That's what all these led up to. Was this book. And I think what you see at the inside of this book, you're going to be like, wow, that was definitely not worth all of this effort. I'm so glad I did not get any of those prelude to the weddings. I thought about getting the Nightwing versus Hush, because both those characters I like. But uh, they just. This was pointless, and those were pointless, so I'm just happy I didn't get them. Anyway, so um, first off, I just want to take a moment and appreciate this cover by Jim Lee. This is the variant cover, and I ordered this 2 months ago in advance because I love anything by Jim Lee. He is one of my favorite artists and one of the best artists currently, and if not the best currently, and one of the best artists of all time. His realistic yet I don't know, it's a very cool style because it looks realistic and it feels like it could be real, but it's not hyper realistic like Alex Ross, but it's also not super cartoony like whoever the heck was the artist on Captain America during the Mark Waid run. Barf. So anyway, uh, this was $5, and I think it was, well, I might have been $5 with or without the variant cover, but if it was just $4 regularly with the normal cover, it was definitely worth the extra dollar to get this cover. The original cover was, I think it was kind of lame. Batman and Catwoman were kissing at the altar. Batman was in his suit and Catwoman was in her dress. But that didn't actually happen inside the book. This is much more of what actually happens in the book. Like, um, the romance is there, but the wedding certainly is not. So the biggest problem with this book is the pacing. Um, so at first I wanted to avoid all the spoilers because people were making a lot of videos about them. But then I decided I'm probably not going to enjoy this that much anyway, so I might as well watch the spoilers and go into it how all these other guys are going into it, reading it. So I went ahead and watched a couple of reviews on it, and I think it was the Real Comic Book Gamer or Diversity in Comics who pointed out that it would be an okay story, but it just keeps getting interrupted by these little bits right here. So basically, they every couple pages they take time for past Batman artists, I guess, to they get a full page to draw Batman and Catwoman together, and the way they made it tie into the story is Tom King added this little bit where Batman is writing a letter to Catwoman. Catwoman is writing a letter to Batman. And the way so Tom King has Batman and Catwoman refer to each other as Bat and Cat. Oh, it's so sweet, Bat and Cat. Little nicknames. Ugh. I don't like Tom King's writing. I really don't. It's not as bad as like some of Bendis' stuff or um, certainly Mark Waid's stuff, but it's still just it's totally not Batman. So anyway, getting into the issue, it starts off with Batman and Catwoman fighting Kite Man. And just so you guys know, I'm going to skip the letter parts. At least I'm going to try to. You'll see how interrupting they are, trying to skip past them. But I'll go back later and show you guys those. But anyway, so yeah, they're fighting Kite Man, who I don't really know what his powers are or whatever, but they decide they want to get married there at dawn. He can get a judge. They'll need 2 witnesses, so they can each bring, 1 person each. And so they set their plan into motion. Batman gets this judge who is an alcoholic. Catwoman's witness is Holly Robinson, who she used to work with or something. She's in prison. I'm pretty sure all of Catwoman's friends are in prison or should be in prison. But anyway, she gets Holly out. And for whatever reason, I don't really understand this part. I don't know if they're trying to break out Holly or what, but they end up fighting Tweedledee and Tweedledum, who are these 2 brothers. I don't really know why that's in here, but they get back to Wayne Manor. Holly comes in blindfolded, of course, and Batman tells Alfred, the change of plans. They're just having it on the rooftop at dawn because... So Alfred asks, "Why a rooftop, Master Wayne?" And he says, It's where we are. It's where we were. It's where we'll always be." Does that sound like Batman to you? It doesn't really sound like Batman to me. Maybe Christian Bale Batman. But still, that's not what something Batman would... It's like Tom King is trying to write Batman as an emo teenager. Batman is not an emo teenager. He's dark, yes, but he's also a very logical, cold, and there's a certain word I'm thinking for, and it's on the tip of my tongue, but of course I'm drawing a blank on it. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. He's not this kind of poet, dark poet, which is what Tom King is writing him as, some kind of freaking poet. So yeah, this is all the letter stuff. And then we have a commercial, or ads, commercials, same thing, right? Catwoman puts her dress on. Batman wears a tuxedo. And again, just with this dialogue, it's too tight. How can I move? Every night, you wear a molded leather batsuit as you perform feats of astonishment. You'll be fine. Okay, that's some good Alfred dialogue, but Batman said, how can I move? That's just stupid writing for Batman. It's just, I don't know. I look like my father. Oh, Master Wayne, you most certainly do. Excuse the poor British accent, but why does Batman have a problem with that? It's like he's getting all misty-eyed and nostalgic, and I look like my father. Am I doomed to the same fate as my father? It's not as dumb as, like, everything from the Man of Steel stuff that I had a problem with, but it's still just not Batman. This came out today, and I don't know how it's going to be. So far, according to the titles that I've read on videos that people have done on it, it's not the best, but I want to read it for myself. I'm going into it with an open mind. I really still like this cover. Hopefully it's better than I'm expecting it to be, honestly. I'm expecting Action Comics to be the best out of the two, but I guess we'll see. More of the drawing stuff. And so, after they get done dressing up, she comes out, Bat, Cat, we shouldn't. You look. Hi. Hello. Yeah. Just dumb to read. And so this right here is where Catwoman decides to um, leave Batman hanging and stand him up. So Holly is like, I can't believe that's him, the Batman. Not what you thought. It's insanity, isn't it, Selena? You know, we've known him from the beginning. I can't believe he's like this. He's never been like this. Like what? Happy. He always seemed to need his misery, like it was how he did what he did. What? So basically, Selena decides to dump Batman because Batman needs to be miserable all the time, otherwise he can't be Batman. So whatever kind of logic that is, that's what we get here. That's Tom King logic. He has to be the dark poet, always stewing in his own crap. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it. Okay? Get over it. And so this part was cool. Probably the best part of the whole book. Alfred asks Bruce who he should call for a witness. Shall I call Master Grayson or perhaps Master Clark? And Batman says, no, I was just thinking it could be you, Alfred, if you're free, since it's been the two of us since the beginning. I can't do anything without you, really. I never could or will. So that was kind of, a nice, heartfelt moment between Bruce and Alfred. I don't know exactly if that's the best wording, but it was a cool scene. And then, of course, Alfred hugs him. And Alfred has always been one of my favorite Batman characters. Just the self-sacrifice that Alfred has put out for Bruce Wayne is incredible. Even though Bruce Wayne isn't his son in any means of the word, he treats him like one, and was a father after, of course, Bruce's was taken from him. So I've always really liked Alfred, and that was a good, heartfelt scene. Yeah, there's Action Comics 1001. Okay, so then we get to they're both driving to the rooftop. Selena tells Holly that she wrote him a letter. And I don't know. This part was, again, doesn't really make sense. Selena is asking Holly if she's a hero, and Holly's like, "Of course you're a hero, Selena. I mean, after all that's happened, don't you have to?" So some good validation, self-validation going on here. Yeah, and some more. Alfred, can I be happy? Master Bruce, after all you've done, all you've endured, suffered, to go on another day, don't you have to be? Da-da-da-da-da-da. It's just, reading this was just very blah. So, she's on a rooftop, but guess what? It's not the rooftop they agreed on, because Catwoman's gonna stand Batman up, so Batman can never be happy. So they wait an hour with the drunk. So the plan was to get a drunk judge to wed them so that it would technically be legal, but the judge wouldn't remember any of it. Okay. At that point, why not just make it common law and get on with it? Honestly, I don't know why the state gets into weddings anyway. Just besides, of course, you want, if something were to happen to one of the spouses, you want your stuff going to who you want it to, and I guess the state could help that happen. But like otherwise, why do they care? Stay out of it. But I think it comes down to money, especially considering all the divorces and stuff. Big money for the state, but that's just side note. So anyway, yeah, he jumps. They both jump off into the night or the dawn or whatever time of day it is. It's dawn. That's right, dawn, because they agreed to meet at dawn. Dawn. And that's the end of the actual story, I think. Oh no, I was wrong. So Holly makes it back to Arkham Asylum. And it's revealed that she was working with Batman's Rogue Gallery, apparently being led by Bane. And that is cool. I do like it when Bane is shown as, more of a strategist and like a military type leader rather than just a big old brute who smashes things. I think it's more interesting that way. And I won't be getting any of the future issues of this book, at least until Tom King is off of it. I know he really won't do that great of a job with Bane, but it is still cool to have Bane coming back as, a main villain instead of just a henchman for Batman to beat up. So yeah, I'll watch reviews on it and everything and see what I think. But yeah, that was pretty much that's the story right there. I'm not gonna really read any of the letters. It's just both of them writing love letters that, I don't know, a middle schooler could write. They were not that deep. They just talked about the eyes and how you can tell things about a person by their eyes. The art was, it was interesting to see all the other artists who've worked on Batman over the years coming back and drawing their interpretations of Batman and Catwoman. I don't know why this guy got 2 pages, but he did, or he or she. Well, no, I guess they didn't. They just have very similar styles. But yeah, besides that, nothing really happened. They didn't get married. Batman's still apparently gonna be a brooding, dark poet, and I think my favorite one is this one right here. The Jim Lee one is pretty good, but 2 other artists worked with him on it, and it's cool and everything, but I just like this a lot better. It's a lot more noir. This is much more modern style, but this is much more noir, and I really like this one a lot by Lee Weeks, who is going to be taking over the art for this book. So, for people that will be buying it, at least you'll have that to look forward to, if not the story. But I'm not going to get it just for the artist. But anyway, here's all the different artists who drew, who did pieces for it. And so yeah, that was Batman issue 50. Sorry that was a bit longer review, but it was an oversized issue. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of the review. Let me know what you thought of the book, if you read it. If you'll be getting Batman continuing on from this. And let me know what you thought down in the comment section. Until next time, I hope you all have a good one. Bye.